So just to introduce myself, I think a few of the people that are on just now have seen before, but just to make sure everyone's aware. My name is Graham Smith. I am the Customer Success Lead here at Integral, and this is one of a few webinars that I've been running recently, just to get a bit more information about FusionReactor out there to the public and make sure you guys are aware of what we're doing. This one, as you can see, is a bit of a feature focus around anomaly detection. So anomaly detection is something that we created probably towards about a year ago now. We've had it in the tool for a while, but we've made a lot of updates to it, and not a lot of people are using it at the moment. We want to make sure that we can get good information out there about it and let people understand what it is, what it does, and really how it can benefit you as well. So, as I say, this webinar is the third in the series of monthly webinars that I'm running. Obviously, we plan to run a lot more as well, really about the features, updates, and future plans with FusionReactor. Today, I'm going to focus, as I say, on anomaly detection, which, to give it a sort of simplistic kind of definition, it's a proactive tool that identifies unusual patterns in your performance data. And what we really want to do there is alert you to that before it has an impact on your users or your customers. Now, one of the important points to note here, we've done previous sessions about cloud and about some of the newer features that we've brought. When you utilize cloud, and I'm sure people on the call that are using cloud at the moment will know that there are different levels of plan available for the cloud product. So you have your agents, and then on top of that, you have your cloud plan as well. The anomaly detection feature at this time is only available within the Cloud Pro AI plan and above. So we have at the moment 3 plans available. The first one, the starter plan, it has access to nearly all features, as well as a set allowance of usage for metrics, traces, logs, ops, pilot tokens, etc. When you move to Pro AI, the features that you get added are to do with custom dashboarding, anomaly detection, obviously what we're going to go through today, a few other things, but also an increase within your allowances. So it's just important to make that point at the start. This is something available in that plan only. You wouldn't see it in your environment if you were on a starter plan. Now, if it is something that you want to maybe pick up and use or trial out for a month, we absolutely can set that up. So, please do let me know if that is something you think actually that would be quite good to use, but we don't want to move up to the next plan without having really tested it first. And of course, we're open to making sure that you've got that. So what we're going to go through today, well, a little bit of an overview of anomaly detection, the thinking behind it, where it came from, kind of what it does, what the points are around it, and where we think it helps. From that, really what it is at a bit of a deeper level, why it matters within your environment, so what it can actually give you, how it works, and the fact that you're in control of how it works. So it is proactive, it is machine learning, but you obviously have the control as to how it works as well. Then we'll show on to how it can surface the important data, and that's really the key point here, is surfacing that data. A little bit of a demonstration, and at the end we'll do some Q&A as well. So if I move on, move on to the overview. Performance issues will often strike without warning. That's, an outage, an issue, something that you weren't expecting, but all of a sudden you then have to deal with that. It could be something quite big within your environment that will take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of resource to go and look into it. And it comes completely out of the blue without warning, in or out of office hours, who knows? But these are the sort of things that can impact you. In manual monitoring, what we do on an everyday basis, it is very reactive, not proactive. And what we want to do is have that shift towards proactivity and give you the information that you need before things maybe go wrong. As we all know, downtime is not good. We really want to stop that from happening. Poor user experience. If those users, instead of being in-house users, are actually customers, it could result in lost revenue. And with that can come a lot of spikes within support calls. So it can be quite a hit that you can take when there is a real issue to performance or even an outage. And this is where application monitoring is starting to evolve. Traditional monitoring, as we say, has come a long way. It is still reactive, but also not only that, you need to be able to look at what the data you're getting and understand what that data is showing you. So you've got to say, okay, I know what the data is, there's a lot of it there, but what does this actually mean for me? And this is the kind of situation that we can find ourselves in. There's a lot of the manual processes there. So in terms of data overload, there is so much data that comes out now. Metrics, traces, logs, statistics. There's a lot of telemetry, but what of it is useful? We surface a lot of information, but what are the points that we really need to see? What should we be extrapolating from that? Also, as systems become more distributed, more complex, you've really got to be able to connect the metrics, logs, traces, events. How does one knock onto the other one? What are the bits, again, that you need to draw out of that? Now, that can come from having the expert knowledge, but to get there can take a bit of time. If we let, within the anomaly detection side of things, if we let the system do the work and say, well, I'm tracing these certain things within your environment, within certain services, what I am able to do as anomaly detection is actually look at what's happening, get the right data, and respond to you or alert you when I see something that's coming out. So, what is anomaly detection? Well, it continually learns your environment's normal behavior. It has an idea in mind of what your own environment is in terms of performance. Then it will automatically identify any unusual patterns, any unusual behaviors within that data that it's seeing. So it knows this is what I should expect, but this is what I'm starting to see, and it can be slightly different. Once it's done that, after a certain amount of time, it will then alert you, depending on what the threshold you set up are, and we'll come to that. It can then alert you on what those unexpected changes are. Now, it could be that it's something that you have applied a new fix, you've created a new service, whatever it may be, but it's saying there is a change I didn't expect. So you can then choose to look at that and do what you need to do with it. It works in real time. So actually, it is looking at the environment as now, and it has direct links into logging, tracing events, the ones that actually matter with regards to whatever anomaly it is that it sees. So being able to detect and resolve these issues before they impact the business. And it uses, as I say, the machine learning algorithms to continually monitor the application that you've got in place or the environment you've got in place so it knows what's happening. And it can really reduce downtime and improve your operational efficiency as well. And why it matters. So it can prevent, as I say, frustration or loss from slowdowns or even from outages. It can drastically reduce the mean time to resolution. One of the things about anomaly detection is that it helps point you towards what is actually going wrong, because sometimes if you're told of an outage or of an issue, you have to investigate to find where that is before you can actually start to fix the issue. So with anomaly detection, what we want to do is make sure that it's not only saying there's a bit of a difference here, take you to where that is, take you to show you why it believes that there could be a problem coming up. It's allowing you to focus on real issues, not noise. So again, all this data that we've got everywhere that's coming out of the system, it can actually sort of shout to say, well, actually, really, this is where you need to be looking. So you're focusing on that and really putting your time and your resource in the right place. The customer experience obviously is key, whether that's an internal customer as a user, an external customer who pays and generates revenue. You want to deliver the best possible experience that you can. But beyond that, what anomaly detection can do is also help you enhance security within your organization. And the way that we talk about that, or the way we think about that, is the fact that it will detect unusual or suspicious activities within the account. So that could be a security breach, it could be a cyber attack. We don't know what that could be. And immediately you're looking at what that is, and you can identify it's a bot attacking our servers, it's somebody trying to get into one of our databases, whatever it may be. You've got that knowledge of something you didn't expect to happen has happened. So that can really help with security. But also it helps you make the right decisions for the future in terms of allocating resource. So what you're looking at is data-driven decision making. You've understood what the trends are within your environment, where you possibly get issues, where things go down, things that you might say we're getting overloaded on certain areas. Well, actually, given the data that we've got, we could say that we can improve that and reduce the alerts if we provide more resource to a certain part of the system. So anomaly detection, how does it work? It works on what we call the red metrics. And that's the rate of requests, the error count or the rate of errors, and the duration of the requests. So if it sees it's not a spike and these are going up, it's a deviation for what it learns to be the norm. And that's what's really key here, is that the rate of requests could go up because you have added, as I say, a new service, so you're getting more requests. An email could have gone out to a lot of customers, suddenly more people come to the site. So it understands what is the normal rate, and if anything changes from that, it will then say, okay, that suddenly they've gone up or they've gone down. Maybe it's because we're into a bank holiday or something. So there's reasoning for them, but a lot of the time there can be bad reasons for them as well. A service has gone offline, a database is no longer active. Your error count, again, it can go up and down, and that's important to know. Suddenly there's a lot of errors, absolutely you want to know, but if the error count's gone down, why is that? Are there less people looking to access certain things? And similarly with the duration, if that goes up or down, it could be the returning errors, therefore they've gone down, or they've suddenly spiked up in terms of the duration. So you want to know to make sure that you can bring that back in line. So it's not just about things going up, it's about things going either way. And the way that anomaly detection measures these is it's a rolling window that we have. And with that, what I mean is you can set the anomaly detection feature to look back either within its 1 hour or up to 1 week prior to where we currently are at the current time. So we set it to a week ago, that window will roll from this moment in time to a week ago now. And that means that if you have put out a new service, if you have changed something that reduces errors, what you know is that actually the improvements we've made, the changes we've made to the system, they're being picked up and they're being part of the new norm. So as errors get lower within a week, well, it learns that, okay, the expected rate of errors should be lower as of now. And therefore, the alerts get a lot better, a lot more powerful, and a lot more exact. Part of that is because you are in control of the way you want to run anomaly detection. First off, select which services it is that you actually want to monitor. There might be some that you know have wide fluctuations or development areas. There's many reasons why you may or may not want to run it on everything. Once you have chosen the services that you actually want to run the AD feature on, you can then set your own thresholds. So the most important ones are the anomaly probability. So what you can say to it is how sensitive you want it to be. Typically, we'd put it between about 80 and 100%. So if it's 80 to 100% sure that there's going to be an issue, there's going to be an anomaly, that's when it will alert you. You can obviously set it lower than that, completely up to yourself. With comparison, as I was just talking about there, what's the span of the historical data that it calculates the anomalies from? As I say, it's up to an hour ago, it's from an hour ago up to a week ago, and that will then let you be in full control of the behavior you want it to look at and compare. The speed of alert is how quickly you want to be alerted. So with that, it could be that sometimes you will touch the threshold for a minute, 5 minutes, but come back in line, and you're happy with that in your environment. That's okay. You know that you have these things, you're planning for the future, you're making some changes, but for the moment, you will hit the odd threshold of what could be an anomalous or some anomalous behavior. So you can actually set between a minute up to an hour of the threshold being satisfied before you will be alerted. And then finally, there is how you get alerted as well. At the moment, you can be alerted via email, via Slack, or via a webhook. We have been asked about Teams. It is an integration that we have already within FusionReactor Cloud for things like the Ops Pilot. So that is the next thing that we're going to bring into anomaly detection, is adding in Teams as well. So you can get these notifications wherever you want them to be, because you want to, wherever possible, avoid alert fatigue. So anomaly detection is one of the ones that actually you would like to give some priority to, because it's only telling you when it thinks something's going to go wrong. So having something like Slack or Teams can actually be really important there. And finally, and as I said, this is one of the key points, is that we can surface the important data. There's a lot of information in all logging tools and all APM tools and all observability tools. What we need to know is what's important that we need to see now, why is it important, and what can it show me? So we've got dashboards that will actually visualize these anomalies that are there. And then, as I said earlier, can then give you the context of that. So it will take you forward to understand what the root cause was by surfacing the information or showing the information that it's based that on. Now, what I'll do is I'll go over to my cloud environment. Oops. And I'll just show you exactly what I mean by anomaly detection in here. So many of you, I'm sure, will recognize this is the overview screen when I first come in to the cloud. I've got, just to let you know, 3 servers as part of this environment. These are the manual alerts that I've set up. There's 2 of them, but there's nothing here to do with anomaly detection. That sits under alerting. And again, you'll see these are the manual alerts or the checks that I have set up. So these are very good, and they shouldn't detract from anomaly detection, because these are things, again, that I might want to keep an eye on from a usage perspective or a resource planning perspective. CPU, for example, I've set up a check, manually set up the check, that if the CPU usage goes up to 80% or higher for more than a minute, and as you can see, I'm nowhere near that just now, that is when it will alert me. It will tell me that that's happened. So that's something that's important to me, but that only tells me when certain resources are being used, and it takes time to set these checks up. You've got to go and make sure that they're reporting on exactly what I want them to report on, etc., etc. If I come into anomaly detection, you'll see that I've got the services that are set up within my environment here. So the first thing you do would just be to scan for services and let them pick up the services that's available to put them on. Now, I've simply ran it on the 3 servers that I've got the stores running across here. If I have anomaly detection switched on a service, which I then remove from my environment, it will not automatically switch it off. It doesn't know that that's gone, so you would need to switch it off yourself. Similarly, if you add a new service into your environment, you would need to run scan for services again for it to pick it up, for you to add it, for it to then be available for you within anomaly detection. Here, the status, that will actually show if any anomalies are firing. It can be quite difficult for me to make it happen sort of on demand, but I will show you the dashboard as to where it comes up. At the moment, I have nothing there. What I'm actually just going to do is stop another service from running and hope that that will create an anomaly. There we go. So yeah, this would show me where there is an anomaly actually hitting. And then the subscription. So where I've chosen to be notified. So for storefronts 1 and 2, I want manually, I want to get an email about those. But for the third one, I've chosen alert me via Slack. So there's different ways that I can choose to be told about it. Simply either switch it on or off. Very, very simple. If I click off, the whole thing gets switched off. Click to switch it back on again. Then I've got the metrics that I was talking about. So the rate of requests, the error rate, and the duration of requests. I could say that I only want for that server I don't want to know about duration. I just want to know about the rate and the errors. Maybe it's something that runs a lot of batch jobs. They run overnight. I don't really care about duration. I just want to know about if suddenly somebody asks it through a lot more stuff, or it starts creating a lot of errors. So you can really choose anything that you want to be. Then if I click the drop open, what you'll see here is I've got the ability to configure how long do I want it to look back on. So this is what I was talking about in terms of it can go up to a week. So I could choose what I want to be. These options at the bottom, unfortunately, shouldn't be there. It's maximized at 7 days at the moment and apply a time range on it. Now, it could be that actually I want to have it start from when I've deployed some fixes, some new services, added to the environment, a lot of different things. So I can actually manually select when that would be, or sorry, manually type in when that would be. Say I want a specific time or a specific day this will start to look at. And what will then happen is it will just pick up that time window from there. I've then below that got the threshold limit. So I've set mine probably much lower than anyone really would in the real world. But again, that's because I want to try and force these to surface these to happen as often as possible. I've got it quite low, and again, I've got it down for 1 minute. As I say, you can go up to 60 minutes, but the anomaly is actually there before it will alert. But again, I've put it to the lowest level. And that's true for error and for duration within storefront 1. I can simply do that with storefronts 2 and 3 as well. That's how it would set up the anomaly detection piece. If I want to look at the dashboard that it's got, simply click on the name of the service, and it will bring that up for me. So you can see here that it's showing me what's in light blue there is actually the rate of the requests. Now, what I was trying to do earlier on was stop the requests from happening, but it wasn't kind of high enough. I hadn't really learned a lot within this environment to show it as an anomaly. It would be had this been running 24/7 and suddenly it went from a mixed rate of level down to 0, it absolutely would have told me that it was an anomaly at that point. If I move back out to the last 3 hours, this is kind of what I've been able to teach it today, and you can see where the spiking is starting to become. Now, what I do have is, to give you an example, one of the emails that it sent out to me earlier today, because I had a few anomalies earlier today. And I'll just bring that in to let you see it. Sorry, I'm just having a wee issue there. There we go. So you can see there, this email came to me today, and it was in Storefront 2. It was a rate anomaly, and it was telling me that the rate had actually gone above the threshold. It had seen the anomaly there. I could then click to come straight into the dashboard, so I'd be aware of that and could work upon it. But also what I got was a resolve. And that was because I'd gone in and had a look at what was happening. I understood it, but it had actually gone back to a normal state. I had learned that was actually back into a normal state again, and therefore it was resolved. So it's not just a tool to sort of create panic or make sure that you know things, but you know things are wrong, but not things are back right again. It does let you know that it's been resolved. So in here, I'm looking at Storefront 1 over the last 3 hours. Now, if it did, let's say, for example, have an anomaly here, let me just refresh it to see if it's picked anything up. You'll see that I've switched off the requests going to the service just now, so it should pick up with an anomaly soon. Let's say it had one here, it highlighted in red, there was one here. I can click anywhere on the use graph, and from there I can look straight into the logs. For example. So I'm taking straight to, this is quite interesting, it's the sampling rate that it's taking for the logs. You can see where it's dipping in and out, where I've sort of switched the environment on and off to try and get it to fall into a false anomaly, which is a good thing, that it's very difficult to make it do it. And it's taking me into the logs. So I can really start to sift through the logs and understand what's happened at a very low level. Similarly, and I can do this with all 3 graphs. Similarly, again, if I click there and go show traces, it will take me to the traces for that time as well. So what is running through the system, where do I want to look through the tracing, the duration, so the much longer ones, should they be that long, investigate those ones first. But also, instead of just looking at all the traces, I could, if I want, just look at the error traces as well. Now, those are where it will take me to automatically. But what I might then want to do is go further from the traces. So let's look at this one. We know it had an error. Now I'm looking at that in much more detail. I'm looking at where the error was, and I'm really getting down to an event that took place, and it's a product that doesn't exist. So that's really something quite important that I need to know. There's a big error within one of my databases because I'm trying to call a product for a store that doesn't actually exist. So it's letting me go through and understand these happened, or the amount of errors were starting to go up and up and up. I think it's going to be a big problem. Come and look into it. It just so happens I found that I'm actually missing a product from one of my databases, but I can really look all the way around my system based on the issue that it thinks is going to maybe bring my system down or cause some severe trouble. If I refresh it again, it's not shown off the alert. We'll go back to here. Yeah, it would show me here. Should there be anything there? I'll leave it as is, and we'll come back to it in a few minutes to see if it's shown anything more at that time. So the future of anomaly detection, what are we looking to do with it? It's a really good and powerful tool at the moment. What we want to do is make sure that we continuously add to it. As you know, if you use FusionReactor Cloud, we do add a lot of tools all the time. We add extra functionality, and we also add to the functionality we've got. So the immediate thing we're working on at the moment is, if the anomaly is triggered, if it actually does fire the email or the Slack message out to say there's something here that could be wrong, we're going to pair it with Ops Pilot so that it will actually start an investigation. So we're looking at root cause analysis here. There is some RCA tooling coming as well that we're going to work on within the environment of FusionReactor. But if we can kick off Ops Pilot, that means that not only are you being told there is an issue that could bring the servers down or could bring your environment to a halt, I will now start to investigate it. So by the time you come in, you don't have to start fresh, looking at logs, looking at traces, as I've just shown. You can actually get the report from Ops Pilot. So it's really, really handy and helpful with that mean time to resolution reduction. Alert silencing as well. You think, well, Graham, you just talked at me for 25 minutes about all these alerts you want to give me, but there are times where you don't want alerts to show. It could be that you've taken a service offline such that you can make an improvement to it, you can upgrade it, you can put the new version of one of the many, many tools you've got in place before restarting it. It could be that you're going to run some tests, some pen tests on it. There's a whole manner of reasons why you might not want to get alerts at any certain times. Maybe every Monday overnight, every Sunday overnight, that's when you create some updates. So putting in times to alert silence, either on a recursive basis, so it would be every week at a certain time, or just to actually say for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, please silence this. And then finally, the Jira integration. So this is something that we've brought in again with Ops Pilot, where if we see something going wrong on a transaction or has an error, what you can do, instead of having to try and recreate that error, you can create tickets directly from there via Ops Pilot. And that's something we'd like to do with anomaly detection as well. We're at very early stages on that part, but it would be if there is a constant anomaly for a certain service or for a certain issue, start to capture these details so you can ticket them. And again, it prevents rework or going over or trying to recreate something with actually doing the work that you want to do and where you want to focus. I'm just going to click back over to here just in case we have any alert firing, because it would be really handy just to let you see it with an alert. No, there's nothing there. Okay. So the next steps from here, as I said at the start of the call, if you're not already on the Pro plan, if you're not even on cloud at the moment, don't worry, we can absolutely set this up for you so you can access it. If you're on a starter plan and you want to access the Pro, we can do that for a month. It will just be the same cost that you currently run, and you'll have an access to that for a month to set up and try it. If you're not on cloud at the moment, again, we can set you up with that. We can get you transferred over and make sure that you're using the very latest and looking at these features that we're talking about. I am always here to talk about this as often as you want. So you can get a one-to-one session with myself to go through anomaly detection, any of the cloud features, or anything you might want to set up and understand more about with regards to FusionReactor. That's both on-prem and cloud, and these additional features. And if you do have access to it and you want to go through the configuration part again, please do let me know. Again, I'm always here to have a chat about those sort of things. Also, the documentation on the website is really, really good. But again, if I can help out, I very much want to do that. So thanks very much for your time. I think we're just coming up to time just now. I hope that has been useful. If you do want to, if you would like to, please do feel free to ask questions in the room at the moment. Elsewise, you can get in touch with me directly by my email address there,